Welcome to Movie Time, and today we are counting down the top 10 best action movies of 2023 for the dedicated action enthusiasts who believe they've seen it all. This video promises to unveil something fresh. This compilation includes some unreleased films and highlights the standout movies of the year. Rather than a conventional action film roundup, we've incorporated selections that seamlessly blend action with elements of adventure, science fiction, and fantasy. If you enjoyed this list of the top 10 new action movies, feel free to share it with friends who share a fondness for action. Stay tuned until the end of the video and let us know in the comments which movie is your favorite. Number 10. Knights of the Zodiac. Knights of the Zodiac is a fantasy action film directed by Tomek Baginski, based on the manga Saint Seiya by Masami Kurumada. It premiered in Japan on April 2023 and later in the United States on May 12. The film is available for streaming on various platforms, such as Netflix, Prime Video, and Apple TV+. The story revolves around Seiya, a determined teenager from the streets who engages in street fights for money while searching for his kidnapped sister. Unknowingly, during one of his fights, Seiya taps into mystical powers he never knew he possessed. This unexpected discovery thrusts him into a world of battling saints, ancient, magical training, and a reincarnated goddess who requires his protection. To survive, Seiya must embrace his destiny and be willing to sacrifice everything to rightfully claim his place among the Knights of the Zodiac. Number 9. Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fires. Rebel Moon is an upcoming epic space opera film directed by Zack Snyder. The film is scheduled for a limited theatrical release in the United States on December 15, 2023, before its streaming debut on December 22 by Netflix. A sequel, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, is set to be released on April 2024. The story revolves around Cora, played by Sofia Boutella. In a tranquil settlement situated on the outskirts of a galaxy, the community faces a looming threat from the forces of an oppressive ruling entity. Cora, an enigmatic resident within the village, emerges as their last hope for survival, entrusted with the mission of gathering skilled warriors willing to join her in a seemingly impossible resistance against the dominating power known as the Motherworld. Cora brings together a diverse group of fighters as the ominous shadow of an entire realm descends upon an unlikely celestial body. A monumental battle unfolds, determining the destiny of the entire galaxy. Through this struggle, a new legion of heroes is forged. Number 8. Napoleon. Napoleon is an upcoming epic historical drama film directed and produced by Ridley Scott and written by David Scarpa. It is scheduled to be released in the United States on November 22, 2023 by Sony Pictures Releasing, before streaming on Apple TV Plus at a later date. The film delves into the tumultuous rise and fall of the iconic French Emperor, Napoleon Bonaparte, played by Oscar winner Joaquin Phoenix. This new historical classic will chronicle the ambitious and daring journey of Napoleon from his position as a high-ranking official in the French army, participating in pivotal battles during the French Revolution, to establishing himself as a dominant figure. The narrative captures Bonaparte's relentless journey to power through the prism of his addictive, volatile relationship with his one true love, Josephine. Number 7. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is an upcoming superhero film directed by James Wan, based on the DC character Aquaman. It is the sequel to Aquaman 2018 and the 15th and final installment in the DC Extended Universe. The film is scheduled to be released in the United States on December 22, 2023. The undersea superhero, Arthur Curry, also known as Aquaman, grapples with the dual responsibilities of being the king of Atlantis and a newfound father. Meanwhile, Orm, Aquaman's half-brother and long-standing adversary, reluctantly finds himself taking on a new role as Arthur's ally. Mera, played by Amber Heard, the Queen of Atlantis and mother to Arthur's son, who is the heir to the throne of Atlantis. The storyline introduces Black Manta, who is more determined than ever to avenge his father's death by seeking the destruction of Aquaman Atlantis and Arthur's family. Number 6. Paradise. Paradise is a German action science fiction thriller film directed by Boris Kunz. The film premiered on Netflix in July 2023, featuring both German and English languages. In a not-too-distant future, a revolutionary method of transferring years of life from one individual to another has profoundly impacted the world, transforming the biotech startup Eon into a billion-dollar pharmaceutical company. Max and Elena enjoy an idyllic life until unforeseen insurance claims, beyond their means to settle, suddenly alter everything. In order to settle their debts, Elena is compelled to relinquish 40 years of her life. Stripped of their envisioned future together, the couple finds themselves amidst the wreckage of their once perfect life. Max, an employee at Eon, exhausts all efforts to reclaim Elena's lost years. Number 5. Kandahar. Kandahar is an action thriller film directed by Rick Romanois and written by Mitchell LaFortune. The film was released in theaters on May 2023 by Open Road Films. Kandahar's story is based on the personal experiences of a former military intelligence officer and takes place during the 2013 Snowdown leaks. The plot revolves around Tom Harris, played by Gerard Butler, an undercover CIA operative sent to Afghanistan to dismantle a nuclear weapon that, if left unchecked, can wipe out an entire city. Even though he succeeds, his cover is blown due to an intelligence leak, and Afghanistan's elite forces are hell-bent on chasing him down. Harris, together with the local interpreter who guides him through the countryside, has a new mission: flee to an old CIA base in Kandahar specified as an extraction point. With numerous threats lurking around every corner, the duo must struggle for survival while making it to the intended extraction spot on time. Number 4. The Marvels. The Marvels is a superhero film directed by Nia DaCosta. It is produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. The film serves as a sequel to the 2019 movie Captain Marvel, continuing the narrative from the 2022 television miniseries Mrs. Marvel. This installment marks the 33rd film in the expansive Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvels had its premiere in the United States on November 10 and subsequently became available on Disney Plus for online streaming. The storyline follows Carol Danvers, who, having overcome the Kree's control, seeks vengeance on the Supreme Intelligence. However, her actions result in unintended consequences, propelling her into a peculiar wormhole connected to a Kree revolutionary. This creates a unique predicament for Captain Marvel. Due to this anomaly, Carol's powers become intertwined with those of Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan, leading to a spatial switch whenever they utilize their abilities. Number 3. Cesu. Cesu is a historical action thriller film written and directed by Jean-Marie Helander. The film debuted at the Midnight Madness section of the Toronto International Film Festival on September 2022. It was released in the United States on April 2023. Cesu unfolds in 1944 in Finnish Lapland during World War II. In this desolate northern landscape, a lone prospector finds himself in the midst of a Nazi scorched earth retreat. When the Nazis pilfer his gold, they quickly realize that they provoked more than just an ordinary miner. This former commando of legendary status embodies its essence of resolute courage and indomitable determination when facing insurmountable challenges. Regardless of the obstacles thrown at him by the Nazis, this one-man army is prepared to go to extraordinary lengths to reclaim his gold, even if it means eliminating every last Nazi obstructing his path. Number 2. The Killer. The Killer is an action thriller film directed by David Fincher from a screenplay by Andrew Kevin Walker. It is adapted from the French graphic novel series The Killer, which was written by Alexis Matz Noland and illustrated by Luc Jacquemont. The film had a limited theatrical release on October 27, 2023, and became available for streaming on Netflix starting from November 10. The story revolves around an emotionless and systematic contract killer played by Michael Fassbender, who operates in the shadows of existence. While on a mission, an unforeseen event occurs, causing a significant error on his part. As a result, he opts to leave the scene and, using carefully chosen aliases, begins a rather extensive journey to reach his hideaway. Throughout this journey, he learns that his girlfriend had been assaulted some time ago and is presently in the hospital. In truth, there are individuals pursuing him with the intention of ending his life. He systematically eliminates all those who were involved in harming his girlfriend along the way. Number 1. The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is a dystopian action film directed by Francis Lawrence. It is based on the 2020 novel The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, serves as a prequel to The Hunger Games 2012, and is the 5th installment in the Hunger Games film series. The film was released in the United States on November 17 by Lionsgate Films. The story follows Coriolanus Snow, played by Tom Blythe, the last hope of the once proud Snow family in a post-war capital. Facing threats to his livelihood, Snow reluctantly mentors Lucy Gray Baird, played by Rachel Ziegler, a tribute from impoverished District 12. As Lucy Gray's charm captivates Panem, Snow seizes an opportunity to alter their fates. Balancing between good and evil instincts, he collaborates with Lucy Gray to defy the odds. With everything at stake, Snow races against time to survive, pondering whether he will become a songbird or a snake in the end. Thank you for watching today's video. By subscribing to our channel, you'll be the first to know about new movie releases. You'll also have access to our curated list of must-see movies, ranging from classic films to the latest blockbusters. So, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and join our community of movie lovers today.